G'day, g'day. Hope you guys are all having a good one. Oh, should I bring you down? Yeah. So, I'll be just doing a bit of chatting for a bit, and then we'll be playing some Path of Exile, maybe continue along with the grind of trying to get some good loot. As that's one thing that I'm kind of missing out on at the moment. But, yeah. Hope you guys are all having a good day, night, good morning or whatever. And, yeah, we'll probably get into this reasonably soon, I reckon. But yeah, so should be hopefully pretty good. Game of the Year awards, in my opinion, it's been pretty good. I enjoyed it. I watched the whole thing live. Thoroughly enjoyed it. There were some pretty big trailers there. I added most of the things I think onto my wish list, and there's some pretty crazy ones. I mean, what? And I do, for the most part, agree with most of their results. Like, there are a couple that I'm just like, about, but stuff like, yeah, I don't know. I won't get too much into it, but yeah. But yeah, I mean, there are a couple like sort of almost blinders. I mean, Game of the Year award going to Astrobot was a little bit of a doozy. That was kind of surprising. And I ain't taken away from them. I haven't played it. I haven't gone around, been able to do that. But that was kind of surprising, taking over, Wukong and how big and how much of an impact that had. And even like Metaphor won a heap of awards. I mean, then again, Astrobot also did, but seemed like Astrobot personally, as like a non player, seems more like a demo of PlayStation per se than anything. So it winning is a little bit from an outsider's perspective, outside of PlayStation. I mean, I have a PlayStation 3, but nothing new. It's a little bit of a weird choice. I mean, even the fact that they added Elden Ring DLC not to even make it win was a bit odd as well. I just don't think the Elden Ring DLC should have even been there, to be honest. For Game of the Year, deciding to add non-game is a astronomically weird take. Like, how I believe it should be up for, like, well, okay, I'm not saying that it should be up to win as a nominee, but like, I don't see why it shouldn't be able to win best narrative, best sound and audio design, best, performance, best, that sort of stuff. Like, I don't think, you know what I mean? Like, because those aren't necessarily exclusive to the game itself, it's like, just as long as it's part of the gaming, right? But, as the best game, I mean, that was just kind of an odd choice. But I don't know. With Astrobot, should have won, should have not. I mean, it's not. I don't know. I may disagree, but my take may not be the necessarily best one. But yeah, a bit disappointing was like the sports one. I mean, there just wasn't really anything. Maybe sports will be a bit better next year with Assetto Corsa coming out. The next Assetto Corsa. Got itchy head back though for real. But yeah, some pretty good ones. Some surprises. I was surprised that Senua's Saga won a couple. Make sure when you hear this, right, you hear the whole thing. I think Senua's Saga Hellblade, 1 and 2 are amazing games. And I think, I voted for her for best, I voted for them, best sound and audio design. I haven't played it, but I've played the first game, a decent bit. I've seen bits and pieces of this one, and very much lives up to it. So yeah, I voted for it, and I was surprised that it won because, you know, so many people shout on the game, and I was like, you know, I think it's still great. But, so yeah, I'm glad. You know, Rebirth coming to Steam's kind of good. It's pre-purchasable, 30% off. I want it, but I actually have to play the first game first as well. So, I played all the other things anyway, so some real big ones I'll switch tabs. Yeah, I mean let me add this one actually onto my wish list. I've wish listed a good chunk of these. I mean, there's some that I'm just not interested in, like Catly. I mean, Thick as Thieves doesn't really interest me, but I'll keep it added just to see how it goes. A big one like Turok was kind of very surprising. Cure looks pretty cool, so did Ninja Gaiden. This one I said looked kind of. Now, I'm not here to make, you know. It was a bold choice, and I think the only. Okay, I'm gonna keep it real. The only way that I see this being like really picking up is if it's like a player plays each, you know, person, right? Which may be right. I don't know. If it's like FIFA, you got to think, right? Sure, maybe this looks like a great game to you. Does this look inherently better than FIFA does? And I don't even like FIFA, right? Does this look better than FIFA or all the other things, right? PES or whatever PES is named now. Personally, no. So it's not selling me. I wouldn't play this anyway, nor do I play FIFA or anything like that, but if it's something new, like, you know, you play a new character, like, I mean, everybody plays their own, right? And so it's an actual, like, effective team, that sounds pretty cool. But if it's, you know, the whole story, I mean, what, you got cell sort of shaded, maybe not cell shaded, sorry, NPR'd though, highly stylized game. Yeah. I don't know. Crimson Desert, no surprise, just gave us a date. Well, not a full date, just that it was definitely coming out next year. This was surprising. I'm like, no way, there's Elden Ring. And then I'm like watching more, I'm like, Elden Ring DLC? What? Turns out it's actually like a whole nother game, so I don't know. We'll have to see how that goes. Maybe, I wonder if it'll be paid or not. Because then if it's not paid, then you're kind of like, oh, I wish it was just a DLC then. I don't want to buy like a whole new game. You know what I mean? I don't know, we'll have to see. But it's like effectively co-op and stuff. That's kind of interesting. So these were kind of cool. Screamer looked alright. A lot of features which are really cool. Tales of the Shire, pretty cool to see that. A New Zealand game. You know, Rebirth coming to PC. Big. This is surprisingly better than we all thought. I was surprised to see Path of Exile on there. That was pretty cool to see. Fragpunk. I feel like I've heard about this for ages, so, but had kind of forgotten about it, so surprised to see that there. Some all other cool stuff. Some of the stuff I already had on my wish list because I'd known about it prior. So. Love to see it. Now, I want to break down something with you guys. We're going to break down The Witcher 4. I don't know. Okay. I hope I don't get DMCA'd or anything like that. Hopefully not. Well, maybe not takedown, but maybe I get copyrighted for this. I don't know. I'm going to try, you know, if you're going to be watching videos, make them transformative, make them, you know, don't just play the whole video and go nice and then move on. So I'm gonna try, have a little talk about it, have, you know, my thoughts, my reactions. I mean, I've seen it actually twice over already. This is my third time. I'm just going to point out a couple things, you know, some things that I was like, wait, what? Stuff like that. This is my opinion. Yeah, as Witcher probably being my favorite game, contending Cyberpunk. I mean, I don't got a Cyberpunk cheer for nothing. I don't got, you know, Witcher and Cyberpunk pictures, and I mean, you can see in the background the Witcher map, and I mean, let's put it this way, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of all fans, let's put it that way. But yeah, we checking it out. My thoughts. Yeah. So coming into this, yeah, I'll say my thoughts. So I mean, first off, cinematic trailer pre-rendered in Unreal Engine 5 on an unannounced NVIDIA GeForce RTX. What does this tell us? I mean, this tells us there's an Unreal Engine 5. I mean, I saw some people being like, whoa, does this mean Unreal Engine 5 is confirmed? Bro, they've been confirming this since prior. I think like the same near when they announced the games, maybe before they announced these games. I mean, come on. Cinematic trailer. Some people like this is so this was just a cinematic trailer. This is not like there's an Unreal Engine. This is not CGI. This is still CGI. Okay, you gotta understand. Games themselves are CGI. You're throwing these words around like crazy. CGI, computer generated imagery. Okay. Anything that's generated on a computer, it is technically computer generated imagery. I mean, that term is thrown around a lot. It also, it kind of softens the blow of what it even means at this point, you know? But, of course, it's CGI. All of these are CGI. Games are CGI in its own sense, right? So pre-rendered, I would be intrigued to see the extent of pre-rendered, because pre-rendered could mean a lot, okay? Especially considering this is coming out of Unreal Engine. I think what some people perceive CGI to mean is whether it's using an online or offline renderer. Now, for those of you who haven't really experienced and don't know too much about these things, online and offline refers to primarily real time to not real time, where you have renderers such as Octane, Redshift. You know, you got Cycles, you've got Arnold, you've got, you know, a bunch of these, right? Solaris even from Houdini. Those are all offline renders. Maybe I believe they all are. I don't think something like Octane is. I think Octane's still offline. Those are all offline renderings. Those are what generally people perceive as CGI. I mean, it still is, right? But those are offline. That means that those are going to be rendered, and you just run it, and it's going to take you like maybe a week to render, maybe longer. That's like what movies are, right? Then you have online renderers, and you've got online stuff like Eevee and Blender. You've got Marmoset that I use. You've got Unreal Engine itself is an online and technically has an offline feature as well if you want to do path tracing. And you got a couple of these. I mean, technically we're starting to see that you may be able to start using Unity for online. You got a couple others. I think V-Ray may be able to do it online. I'm not too sure. But you can we're starting to see a good couple online renderers that it like. I mean, it's one thing having an online renderer. It's the next thing having it like look good, right? So this is pretty good. All these real-time render engines. Yeah. So that point aside, you know. Squishing other people's, you know, qualms and questions and stuff away. My thoughts is, how are they doing this? So I've used Unreal Engine for both filmmaking. Yes, but not anything great. Okay, I want to preface nothing great, but I've explored that aspect before. I've made multiple games in it. I would be intrigued to know if this is using the real-time features or if this is, of course, it's pre-rendered, but whether it's just rendering it via sequencing, right? Or this is using something like the path tracer or something like that. I mean, I think this maybe gets interesting when this is their own like build of Unreal Engine, presumably with their own renderers and stuff like that. I like, let's be honest, this is not probably using stuff like Lumen. I don't know if it's even using Nanite. I mean, if it's pre-rendered, it probably doesn't matter whether you use Nanite or not. I mean, assuming the engine runs it. So I'd be intrigued to know that, but presumably using 5090 as well, which is kind of cool. I think the big thing for me, I think to take away from these two things is whether is this running real time via on the engine? Yes, pre-rendered, but is it rendering real time? In the way that Unreal does it, or is it running? You know what I mean? And secondly, another key thing to take away is that this right unannounced NVIDIA GeForce RTX GPU. Now, let's keep it real here. I mean, it's a GeForce RTX, which means it's not using something like the A4000 or those series, right? It's not using a workstation card that, you know, as keyed by RTX. RTX is generally their suite of gaming GPUs. Yes, the other ones can potentially run some RTX features, I believe. I mean, obviously, you know, workstation you can run like ray trace normally, but whether it has access to like full on those cores and whatnot is a different story. I think this is big. So 5090, presumably, the fact that they're rendering it in this means I can only assume that they are continuing the collaboration with NVIDIA, which is amazing because we're going to get some more crazy stuff out of this. Similar to what we got to see with Cyberpunk, yeah? So that's going to be great because I would assume that NVIDIA is not just shoving out 5090s and so forth out to everybody. The fact that they are getting to use this is a pretty good hint that they may be collaborating more, which is going to be amazing because there's a lot. I don't know. There's a lot of crazy stuff that we got out of Cyberpunk that no other game even really has yet. Still, so this is going to be. We can expect some real cool stuff.
Dearest daughter, I've watched ye grow.
Alright, continue.
Curious child
Real nice looking fire.
into a remarkable.
I'd be intrigued to know whether using BDBs for this or just because I believe Unreal Engine with 5.5 introduced VDBs, but this could also just be normal flipbooking.
A young lass with much.
That's a method of you know, doing that. So I won't get into it.
Grace, wisdom, and kindness. Take the easy times what shape.
I mean, that's a real cool looking sword. And we're soon going to see an arguably arguable character. This is a cool looking sword. I am actually kind of surprised that they. I mean, this looks similar to like the sword, especially like these. They're continuing with this really cool, like crossguard sort of style, but this is new, like the serrated. And for a silver sword, it's kind of odd. I think it may have been pretty cool if we got to. I mean, I really like the design though, but I'd assume there's this silver sword. No, the silver swords have these, yeah, not the steel, from my memory. But it would have been kind of cool to see. Alright, well, we're going to find out, but yes, this is Ciri. At the end, when you choose the Witcher ending, I believe you give her a sword, right? Or a silver sword. Would have been cool to see that. That's going like really deep into it.
'Tis how we rise to face the hard times. What does that for us?
Sharpening the sword.
Gold. You've the spirit to overcome and
Okay, I gotta keep it real. Side note, love this. This looks really, really good. The vegetation there that they added. I mean, that looks amazing.
plenty. Darling. Sweeten. Today's the day. Ye fill out your destiny.
Yeah, I mean, the hair looks pretty good. Another thing that makes me believe that this may be... I don't know the extent. This looks like haircuts, right? This is not just me. I mean, you can see the polygons, right? Of the haircuts. Like, you can see one there to maybe there to going in. This just looks like one with a couple, like, flat strands. These look like haircuts. I would assume these are probably hair cards as well. Same with the eyebrows. So, the fact that they're using hair cards for here, I don't know. Okay, this could also be a fact of the matter that does Unreal Engine support Groom? I'm not sure about. I've never played around with Groom, but I believe that these are hair cards. Yeah. These to me look exactly like how hair cards look from my experience of using them. So maybe kind of interesting. Something that I just noticed, maybe a little mistake, I don't know. You can sort of see, is it just me or like your eye, there's like, that is not part of your eye, but I don't know, it's possibly just the lighting, but it just looks level, maybe like just as an extension of the eyeball, but it's not part. I mean, they know that, dude. I'm not trying to, you know, teach them anatomy here, but I'm guessing that may be lighting. Like, here's the thing, okay? When you're making models, yeah, like, you need to save up on Geo, right? Generally, you're going to have your eyeballs obviously separate because, you know, you need to rotate and all. You're not moving the texture itself. That would just be a waste. But, something interesting. It's possibly just the lighting. I mean, you see her slightly shift her eyes and that, of course, doesn't move, so... Actually, does...
Ye fill out your destiny.
Just look over there. Okay, now it all moves, yeah. Got a bit confused for a second. These are haircuts, right? And, you know, 2 swords. Your Witcher. That's pretty sure I recall that being the steel. No? Love the design. I'm making a sword similar to this, albeit this goes a lot smaller. It's almost too small. I mean, these look like haircuts to me. There's some of these like really good, but like that part there definitely looks haircutty. Well, okay. One thing I love is they've definitely kept their texturing style. I mean, people throw around, you know, oh, this looks like Unreal Engine. Oh, this looks typical, you know, Unity game, stuff like that. The texturing style, especially like this, very, very similar. And another reason as to why this just feels maybe real-time rendering, stuff like this, like, you 100% could add so much, like, displacement and stuff like that into some of these things. But a lot of these, like, these are normal maps, no? Normal map. A lot of these, just yeah, normal map, normal map, normal map. Like, I don't think we can zoom in, no? But these are normal map details, yeah? Sorry, I don't speak that language, my friend, but good to see you. Carmen, hope you're doing well. We're just breaking down the Witcher 4 trailer. Okay, preface, I've done, I make games, I've done a bit of, I've made a good amount of games and a couple games in Unreal, you know, done stuff like that. So I'm breaking it down, my thoughts. So at the moment, I'm debating whether they're using what you would use a term offline renderer. This is all rendered in Unreal Engine, but they have an offline rendering mode, which just means something that you'd generally see for normal cinematic trailers, or if they're using the just real-time features. Stuff like this, like there's a lot of like small details of like some of these, like these wrinkles could definitely. I mean, these just look normal mapped on. Not a bad thing. All games use normal maps. I would be surprised to know if really any games use displacement, as it requires so much geo. But for a cinematic trailer, it's surprising not to see it. But yeah, as I was saying before, I love the texturing. The texturing, you know, very reminiscent. They still look very much like key cards to me. Sorry, you're Russian. If it's not difficult, go to translator and translate for you. What do you think about The Witcher 4? Go to translator and translate for me. What do I think? Yeah, I can do that. I just see what you wrote first. Hello. Privyet, my friend. Alright, let me uh I yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this is translating well or not, but oh. Too long. Too long. Still. Is this fine? No. This is the best that I can do to get it in. That's my thoughts. But yeah, so we'll continue. But I love that they've still captured this. I mean, this does not look like lemon to me. Looks great. Oh, Amy, you're here. You're here. You're here. I'm sorry you've missed probably about 20 minutes of me talking, about this. So you've missed a lot. I've gone over a lot of stuff. I think feel free to at a later stage go back into it and rewatch if you want to see like my full thoughts. Of what, because what I'm doing is I'm just breaking down the trailer into like what I'm feeling, what I'm, what I can take from it, as I think I mentioned to you. So I'll quickly backtrack just so you don't missing too much, and just cover the key points. 1 cinematic trailer pre-rendered in Unreal Engine on an unannounced NVIDIA. I got it, buddy. But unfortunately, I didn't play all the parts like you did since The Witcher 2. That's fair. That's fair. Okay. Preface: I haven't finished those games, but I've played about around half of them both. I plan to finish them at a future stage, but they don't run too well on current gen computers, so I can understand if people just don't even play because of that. Where The Witcher 2 doesn't even run on my computer. I have to play it on an older computer, or like a Steam Deck that has like lower spec, because of the way that they support CPU cores. But yeah, so covering this, what you missed, Amy, just so I can run you a little bit. I'll skip over some things, but primarily key thing that I took and went on a massive rant about: cinematic trailer pre-rendered in Unreal Engine. I mean, this is such an important thing to note here, okay? Cinematic trailer. This is an Unreal Engine. Are they using online or offline rendering? Are they using like a real time, or are they using like a... okay, this was a big rant, because I think this is kind of important to know. If this is real time, which I... Cool, thank you. I love it, my Cyberpunk. I think it looks really cool. But yeah, I think this is running real time. Yeah. I'll go into it. I'll go into it later. I was just getting more into it. But if this is real time, we could be looking at expecting similar tone down, similar level of graphics. It's like, you know what I mean? Yes, there's path tracing on Unreal that you can turn on and do offline rendering. We've played around with that before, you and I. Also, we've done, of course, real-time rendering in Unreal, so we've done both. And there's going to be a couple things that I'm going to say that I think is interesting. Another thing that I'm going to key point: unannounced NVIDIA RTX GPU. Also, hope your neck's feeling better now. This is important. Bigger than you probably originally think. You're just like, yes, 5090, of course. No, that's much bigger than that, yeah? I don't know if I haven't seen anybody else like cover this. That's good to hear. You can always, I mean, yeah, if you want, you can always like line bead and just like check out on your phone and stuff like that. I think the key thing that I haven't seen anybody comment on, so I think this is just new from my end that I've seen, is this means so much more than what we originally thinks. Of course, yeah, there are 5090s out there. I mean, we know that, yeah. But NVIDIA has given, presumably at least one, something from looking at the RL. Damn. Even when you're like on lying down on your bed with just holding, that's unfortunate. On an unannounced. So ultimately this means RL. Oh, that's annoying. That's unfortunate. But yeah, this just means quite a lot. TLDR, this is potentially, we can look at seeing probably another Cyberpunk scenario, right? They have not designated, like they have not given out a bunch of RTX 5090s to a bunch of different things. This is still rare. The fact that these guys have access to at least one, I mean, I think if you're an Unreal Engine, I don't think you can render farm it, so presumably just one as well, which is also another thing, because most CGI... okay, there's another thing, CGI. People throw around CGI, they're saying, CGI trailer. This is not a CGI trailer, buddy. Games are CGI. Okay, let's keep it real here. By definition, computer-generated imagery. But, dude, the chat. I saw the chat and it was making me cringe a little. NVIDIA GeForce. So yeah, TLDR. Tillon didn't read. Shortening it up. I think that we're going to see a lot more. Like, this is going to be great. We're going to see a lot more of what they did to Cyberpunk with their whole path tracing and all these things. A couple of days ago, not this chat. This chat's smart. Exactly. We're all intellectuals here. A couple of days ago, I watched a Russian video about the Witcher fandom and the plot of Part 4. There's a person that said they might show a trailer at the presentation. That's what happened. Yeah. A lot of people were anticipating it because the developers were showing off like a coin, right? This coin, and it was showing off some cool stuff. It actually showed off this, yeah, where it was effectively to. I mean, at this point, I should show the coin, right? This, yeah. So they're showing this, and we see in the trailer a mountain. She goes into the mountain, kills the monster. This is not what people were thinking. People were thinking this was hinting to Gwent and the start of the Witches, which I actually believed was going to be the case as well. But this is really cool to see, and to me, it makes more sense. As it's a bit like it. I've mentioned this a couple of times. I don't know whether on stream. In my opinion, the Witcher books are almost more like, I would almost say that Ciri is the protagonist in the books. Really. She is like the main character. Everything revolves around her. But we see a lot. I don't know if you'd say most. If you count the first two books, then yes, you'd say most. But I don't know whether you'd say Geralt is still the most. There's still a lot of Ciri. I think it's pretty hand in hand. I mean, the way that Andrzej kind of did it. So, pretty cool. But yeah, it makes sense to me that she is the protagonist. As well as, like, I mean, the Witcher books are really confusing. They are told primarily Geralt's side of everything, and it's primarily about Ciri. All of it's about Ciri. I mean, dude, the books are pretty much half just trying to find and re-get Ciri back, right? Really. And then on the extra side, there'll be probably a good chunk of you guys who may not know, they're actually told by, like, they're written in the sense of they're like written by Dandelion or Jaskier, or whoever you want to call him. So kind of interesting. So kind of cool. But yeah, so going back into it, this could actually be. I mean, why would you even care about this if you're using a render farm? Using an unannounced NVIDIA, N1, okay? Using unannounced NVIDIA RTX GPUs. N single. I believe this is real time. Another thing that I mentioned, why I believe it's real time. I mean, you get into it, right? These are not like 8K textures, stuff like that, right? Although I did mention this looks amazing. These are haircuts, no?
Fill out your destiny.
Let me know if these are too loud though. Sorry. These are haircuts. Like, you can see, like, yeah. Listen, I've worked with haircuts before. These are haircuts. Why would you not just use Groom if you're doing a cinematic trailer? Unless you're trying to do something that's like real time. Or Unreal Engine doesn't support Groom, but I'm pretty sure it does. I don't know. I've never messed around with it. Alright, let's get back to where I was before.
To bring her.
These are haircuts. Actually, they have to be haircuts. This is coming out of nothing. It's coming out of, like, her forehead. These are haircuts. And you can see, right? The polygon. Right? These are here cards. Which makes me more so believe that this is real time. And some people miss, like, you know, I'll just show. Probably about there. I think maybe there. These are where, like, you know, we're splitting, at least on this end. This is like, yeah. So, this is really interesting to me. As if this is running real time, then we could be looking at similar fidelity.
Salvation.
Within reason. You're not getting, like, crazy,
Be the bringer of
you know, breasts and stuff like that. And a lot of this, yeah, also looks like here cards. Especially because it's not like it's so static in movement. Not calling that bad, just saying. Ciri looks hot, by the way. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna preface this. I've seen. Okay, I don't know. On all the fandom, because I spent like an hour scrolling through like the Witcher Reddit. Everybody's just like, yeah, Ciri, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Ciri looks attractive. She has been YouTube. I'm going to be going into that. Okay, Carmen, you're bringing up something that I think is going to be really interesting. In the books, it is said that women cannot get Witcher mutations. Listen, I ain't trying to say that, we're not allowed change here, okay? But I think this may be leading to, with her creating this Link skull that we are understanding, she might have her own mutations and stuff like that. But she's not able to do the Trial of the Grasses, which is like the OG, that's the original, stuff. So that's why a lot of people are thinking it can't be Ciri. It wouldn't make sense. She can't be a Witcher. Lore-wise, no, she can't be a legitimate Witcher by the normal standard. But if she creates her own skull and creates her own Trial of the Grasses and creates her own stuff, yeah. There's a lot of questionable things I'll get into later. But, I'll get into that. But yeah, this still looks very Witcher. This still looks like they've captured the Witcher. This is running Unreal Engine. This is not, this is not stuff. Looks still very, very Witcher. The texture style is consistent. This game's... How long's it been? It's been almost 10 years. But I can understand. But come to us, we have delicious. That's so good. That's so good. It probably don't help. I speak pretty quickly, so translation using what is it? The captions, yeah, probably struggles to keep up anyway. But yeah. It looks lovely. This feels very Witchery. Like, you can look at this and go, this is The Witcher. Which so many people to me, yes, it's okay, I struggle to. No. But that was, like, one of the biggest things people were worried about. So, pretty hype. That's good. I think a lot of people that were worried about that, not me, dude. They've done amazing. They've done great, even with Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk looked amazing. That's a massive shift. So I didn't think that they couldn't do it. I know that it can be done. Other studios have done similar things. So, but
whose coin did you take?
It's good. Those look very haircutty though. Not a bad thing once again. That is actually a good thing.
Tis tradition. Chosen she is by the gods.
No.
And we meet Ciri. She's got the Witcher eyes, as I mentioned before. She's got her scar, her well-known scar. I'm probably gonna rummage through YouTube in search of additional information about the Witcher. Sorry for shifting. Hey, you're all good. I appreciate you coming by and chatting. Yeah, and hopefully that, hey, maybe you learned something new or you got something interesting out of what you've seen already. But appreciate you coming by. Thank you. And yeah, hopefully see you again at some point, eh? Hey, maybe when The Witcher 4 releases. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, you're all good, my dude. I appreciate it. But yeah, she gets this from. She gets this from what's his name? No, Bonhart. Yeah, she gets that from Bonhart. No, these once again look quite haircutty to me.
Whose coin did he take? Nay.
Okay, I will say look at the lighting on this guy's hair.
A witcher?
The way that you'll see it next.
Whose coin did he take?
Oh, on this guy, sorry, on this guy's hair. It does give me some Unreal Engine vibes though. Just the way that it sort of does some stuff. But a key thing to note
Nay, you can't.
is what all this complaint about TAA and stuff like that. Yeah, Unreal Engine TAA is terrible. I would be the first one to admit it. I don't know if they're using TAA for these sorts of things, which is temporal anti-aliasing. So
Chosen she.
maybe a little bit. Let me just.
Tis tradition. Chosen.
No, that's just a depth of field. You can see like the depth of field kind of around it.
By the gods. No.
But I've seen some people. Okay. Also, bear in mind, Amy, if you're just like, why is he pausing so often? I don't want to get struck, with, oh, this guy's watching our video, copyright, yada, yada, yada. If I pause this enough, I think we're fine, keeping it educational. Then I can show videos. She is attractive, dude. I've seen the reaction content before. She is attractive. Anybody that says that, dude, your preferences are funky, my dude. Attractive. She is also definitely older. Another thing that you need to preface, she is older. She is not... I mean, some people say 16. Dude, she's not 16 in the game. She's 21. At the end of the books, she's around 16 to 18, give or take. At the end of the books. But in the games are set roughly... Or at least the third game's set around 3 years after, supposedly. Or give or take around... I could be wrong about that, though. But she's around 21 in the game. She is also much older than that here. I would probably say you would hold her hand, dude. I would hold her hand before you. I would say she... To me, she's like maybe like 20s, 30s even. Maybe 25? Maybe, I feel like a little bit older than 25. Okay, how do I put it? She looks mature, if that makes sense. I don't know. I feel like that's like the best word that I could use to explain it. But she is attractive. Anybody that says that she's not even conventionally attractive, she looks like a woman. Fact. We like that. But, I mean, I don't understand. What, is it because she's got like Witcher eyes? I mean, what the fuck? Come on. What do you expect? I mean, what, is it because she's got a scar? Dude, you're just like a big part. I feel like a relatively big part for like a portion of the book is her like getting over the fact that she has a scar, and stuff like that. She's always at the start she gets it because her forehead looks small. We like her massive forehead, receding hairlines. Like I don't know. She was so self-conscious. She was like checking the scar. She was constantly hiding or like scratching her scar because she. Self-conscious. I mean, come on, buddy. I don't know what people... I don't know. Like, let's keep it real here. She looks attractive. But a key thing, she does have the Witcher eyes. These are not her normal eyes. They are the right color, per se. It does look badass. That's what I'm saying. And actually, the guy that stitched it up, I forgot his name, was actually a solid guy. Which is pretty cool. So her eyes are different. She's known to have very green eyes, stuff like that. That actually like sort of like light up. Not light up, but they like shine green, stated. You know what I mean? When she does her like weird power shit. But she's got a bit of yellow, and these are like slits, right? These are the Witcher. Cat-like eyes, contact lenses. Dude, when she's on her job, she gotta look like she a Witcher, so she puts them contacts in. That's kind of interesting. So she is definitely Witcher, right? It's not just her with two swords. Anybody can pick up a silver and a steel sword and be a Witcher. No? How, even that one quest that I was doing, I think on stream, where there was that one guy pretending to be a Witcher. Anybody can do that. But having the Witcher cat eyes is a different story. I mean, she must have done some sort of trial, and she's got enhanced vision and stuff like that. So that's kind of interesting. Because I thought they were meant to be wolf eyes. I don't know why they're clearly a cat. I mean, I've read all the books and stuff like that, so I know. I know that sort of stuff, but I can understand that. I can understand it. Especially because they're like, this is the wolf, the wolf, the white wolf. They cover all that, but with all the other Witcher schools, they all have the same stuff. That's why the cats hate witches. I don't even know. It's never fully stated actually why. I believe it's so. Cats are okay. It's kind of funny. I'll tell you this, not solely because you said that, but because this is kind of interesting. I don't know if you know about this. I don't know if I told you about this. So cats and The Witcher are the only animals that can detect magic, right? So where they like to sit in The Witcher, like they'll like sit in their comfort spots, right? Are actually this is getting really complex stuff. So I'll try to summarize it. Okay, so when you're a magician or a sorcerer, you can get your magic to like sort of refuel yourself with magic. You can take it from these special spots in the ground, right, where there's like a lot of magical energy, right? How to explain? You can take it from air, you can take it from water, you can take it from fire, but there are specific spots in the ground that hold a lot of energy, and there's stuff like maybe near trees and stuff like that. And anyway, so it's said that, I think, if I recall correctly, cats like to sleep on those areas. They find them very comfortable. The magic area. And so if there's a cat that constantly stays around an area, I think that's from my memory, that's like probably there's a lot of magic there. You can probably source magic from it, right? It's like a magic source, I believe is what it's referred to as. So that's that, because they're like magical beings, they per se, because they're the only one that can detect magic in that sense. Although Ciri can detect magic, which is really interesting. Ciri's the only person that can detect magic. Like as a sorceress, you can sort of like feel where magic is close and stuff like that. Ciri's a cat, but with her elder powers, it's really interesting because Yennefer's like, we need to find a magic source, and Ciri's just like, oh, there's a magic source over there, and Yennefer's like, oh, how do you know? You can't detect magical sources. And then she's like, trust me. They go over there, and it's like a really, really big magical source, and Yennefer's like, how do you do that? It's kind of funny. So, pretty cool. So, with her having the whole cat eyes, it's kind of interesting. I mean, she's obviously taken mutations. We'll see later that she definitely has taken mutations and stuff like that. But really cool. But she is attractive, dude. One fine lady. So...
You chose her.
And I would also go to say, beat Yen. Honestly, and I was talking to my friend Noodle about this actually. Genuinely speaking, I think Ciri is on par, if not stronger, than Yennefer at portions of the books. It depends on what you talk about, right? At stereotypical magic, no. Like, Yennefer's still much stronger. Yennefer's like one of the strongest. But with her outer powers, she is crazy. You go, girl. She is one power lady. But when I say she is like the most powerful, this is like out of everybody. So everybody that exists that we know of, outside of the antagonist of the books, he is a different story. Another thing that I want to say, this is okay. Another thing that I really like about this trailer is this is very reminiscent of the original Witcher trailers, like story and setting and stuff like that. Like this tree even reminds you of that one. I think it's called like Killing Monsters trailer or whatever, where he saves the lady that's gonna get hung. Okay, another side note that they actually in that trailer they actually did, but is something that's actually kind of interesting, and most people probably won't know about this if you've only played the games. Geralt doesn't actually wear, like, witches do not have the two swords on their back, which is kind of interesting. I know why they did it for the games, makes complete sense. But in the actual books, also we can see Lynx. That's not the cat. It looks very reminiscent of the cat, not a cat. Yeah, true. So they actually have one sword. They usually keep their silver sword on the horse, albeit change it depending on the quest, right? That they're going to be doing, and they keep just one on their back, which is kind of interesting. But in the games, they introduce two. They're both always on your back, which is kind of interesting. PDC, PR, yeah. But that's the thing. This is a very Witcher trailer, and I'll get into this later when we see the ending of it, which you already know by now. But it is very much a them trailer. Wish I could be part of. That'd be super cool. Hey, when I get into CDPR, I'll give you, I'll link you up. But very good. This looks super cool with your old motion cap. Yeah, these are all mocap, but you still obviously, I mean, you still always have the animators cleaning it up, so good. And they have their animation teams on all their stuff. But they are introducing mocap into this. I believe they are mocapping a lot of this that we know of. So I don't want to clean up. But there are like still animations, but they are introducing, because the third game, obviously the first game and stuff like that, there was no mocap, which is kind of interesting. So it's fairly new for these sorts of things. Very reminiscent, having these whole charms on trees and stuff like that. And okay, and this I'm pausing a lot. Okay, but dude, a little excited here. This was the whole Witcher coin, as we can see here. But mocap is very nice. Yeah, so much faster, and it's way more realistic. Like, at least easy to get realistic. I think you can pretty much get close to the realism, but the time it takes is ridiculous. You can see here, this is what I was referring to about you go to that cave with the coin, which is kind of interesting. So this is quite a bit different to what people were expecting. And interesting to make sure the damn feet stay on the ground. Don't even say that. It's very good. Ambient. Was this like the something tilt? Or something, I can't remember. Oh yeah, Dutch tilt, that's the one.
Back to the village. Go, now.
Very Geralty.
I must save them. Save the village.
Save yourself.
Hey. No.
Run.
Very interesting. So you get the usual. Would Geralt be alive? Yeah, Geralt would still be alive. I'm certain this is older. I don't know how they approach these sorts of things. Like, does Ciri have the ability to live a bit longer now that she does her own Trial of the Grasses? If you do the Trial of the Grasses, you can be like, preface this. I believe Geralt is close, if not, I would say The Witcher 3, I believe he's somewhere in between 80 to like maybe 120 years old in The Witcher 3. So I'm not certain. I think I saw something maybe that Amy that he's like 88, but I could be wrong. But okay, but they live a lot longer than normal human beings, which is kind of sad if you remember that the movie that we watched. It's okay, I'll hey. I can't deny. I'll let you fiend. But yeah. So I'd be intrigued to know. But yes, to answer the question, I believe he'll still be alive. I mean, he's got a lot long. Within reason. I mean, he could like Fish Islands for real. Yeah, they make use of the fisheye quite a bit actually in this. They got something similar to what I got with my current sword. That I'm working on. But something kind of interesting. So yeah. they say no Witcher has died of old age because they will die from being a Witcher, you know, Monster Hunter. So, kind of interesting. So, that nobody knows how long Witchers live for, really, but they can live, like, I think Vesemir was, like, over 200 years old in the games, so. And Yennefer is older than Geralt, surprisingly. It's kind of funny. I think she was, like, 100 or something, so. He was fine. Cougar!
Run! To shelter! To your father! Run!
Okay, the one thing though that I did hear that people said where it was, you know, the Ciri VA has changed. This is a different VA. True, but she's obviously a lot more mature. She is older, stuff like that. So I kind of look at it in the sense that she's older. You're gonna have a different. Hey, maybe she's doing her other projects, stuff like that. But I figured. To me, that just makes sense to me. But either way, maybe VA can't. Yeah, that's the other thing with the conflict, stuff like that. Because it requires so much to do these games. Okay, another thing to note. This is very Witcher 3. You know. Like, it's the same sort of, like, clothing. Very, very similar. A little different, but very similar. So, it's a nice touch though, so, yeah. They get some real cool outfits going. And very much, like I said, the whole... That's obviously what they've done with the coin. Yeah, she got some Harlequin, yeah. We're gonna see it soon. She's pretty quick. Not, I would say, maybe Witcher quick. Maybe. Now the voices. Hey lady, how you doing? Alright, and here we go into it. She takes the potion. Don't you know me? And... Okay. As in what they're yapping about. Oh, yeah. We can see she's obviously done it and she's now poisoned, really. Another really small thing. I didn't notice this the first time. Blood. She's bleeding. Now, I feel like I cannot remember if that happened as well with Geralt. But it could be something to note that maybe she's, like, diminishing her health when she takes these potions. I mean, I think technically they do. I mean, you overdrink potions in the games. Technically, you can't really have that many potions, and they have major side effects. But then again, also when you come off not having many potions very often, you also run into the same thing. Where you sort of have... It's kind of like if you do a bunch of drugs and then you come off drugs, there's a little bit of a sort of like, you're like, whoa, you know. I believe that's mentioned a bit in the books. And she's this, I don't know what potion she's on. Yeah, sort of like a withdrawal. So like you just feel very rusty per se, because I think they last quite a bit of time. I don't know what potion this is. Maybe cat. I feel like these have gone white, which makes me believe it's maybe a cat potion. Which, if you don't know, or if you don't remember, Amy or anybody watching, cat is the negative. Cat is the potion. I don't know if you even got it yet, but that's the one where you can see in the dark, effectively. It gives it pretty cool. It's I don't know if they show it. Everything goes like really crazy bright in the sunlight is the thing, but it makes everything kind of like almost black and white sort of. So yeah, it just allows you to see, but everything kind of desaturates. Very cool, yeah. I would say she's got the Witcher, like, she is very quick. Now, obviously, with your protagonist, and she's powerful in general, but Witchers are incredibly, they're super fast, like lightning fast. They're faster than, by far, your normal person, even a highly trained person. Geralt could probably take on Leo Bonhart, maybe even, but Leo Bonhart is, like, he's killed multiple Witches before, he's pretty crazy. Which is also another thing where some people are speculating, and I could maybe think this, is a lot of people mistake her Witcher medallion to be one of the Witcher cat. Now, a key thing to note is she actually has a Witcher cat medallion. I can't remember, I can't remember who it is, actually. Whether it's Cohen's or something. But then, maybe she got it from... Because she wasn't there when Cohen died. He died in a massive battle, which is really, really cool. Actually, the battle was amazing. I'll be intrigued to see how they approach it in the book, in the show, because it was one of my highlights in the games. In the books. But yeah, so she gets a Witcher cat, and she always holds on to the Witcher cat, and so people sometimes even think she's a Witcher there. So some people are thinking that maybe she turned that into the lynx, and that's also why she went for a lynx, because the lynx is very similar to a cat, so it's easy to, make it into, I don't know. So, but she is super quick. And big thing to point out there, that is Quinn, if you remember from the games. This is when it starts getting really interesting to me. I would assume that we're probably using similar... Teacher, I remember, yeah. I would be intrigued to see where this goes in. Because... Okay, so it is stated in the books that Witcher... At least definitely these, but generally all Witcher... when I say these, I definitely mean like these, like Quinn, stuff like that. These are very much just the Witcher wolf stuff, right? Cats don't really use, I don't think, any signs, or not that I think of. I don't think they use much. They're very agile and quick and very good with the sword. And I forgot what it is. I think it starts with the M. Major. What is it? Witcher skull. It's Manticore. Yeah, I believe Manticore's used quite a bit, or maybe it's the Griffin uses quite a bit of spells. One of them use more spells than other skills. So either way, these are very ineffective spells comparatively to what you can do if you're an actual sorceress, which Ciri learns way better spells, so it's kind of interesting that she's like receded back to this. But she also receded, she rescinded her Witcher powers. She was super duper powerful. Like, she yelled and blasted everybody away. She is crazy. Especially her mother as well. Pavita. So kind of interesting. She rescinded her powers because, I think, to summarize it, there's more to it, but basically she's out in the desert. She goes a little bit crazy because of her powers, because she was like dying, and then she kind of needed it, and then she tapped into her powers through fire, which makes her feel a little excited, and then keep it simple. And then she, does some crazy shit. She like brings in rain and storm clouds and thunderstorms and start like everything's going. And she can she doesn't even need to do spells. Like she's she just got to think and all the spells will go. And she does a lot of crazy stuff. She heals her unicorn just without thinking. She doesn't even know the spell. And she's like, and then heals the guy completely. It's like amazing. So she is super powerful, like the best magician, really. Sorceress. But nobody else can do that, I don't think. But technically. But yeah. So, and then she rescinds it because it yeah, she don't feel great about it. It makes her kind of a little evil, basically. So if you see people mentioning evil Ciri, that's what they're probably referring to. So, without going too much, it's a long story. This is like about 100-page chapter that I've kind of summarized. So, yeah, kind of interesting that she's using this. So maybe she is like gained only the primitive things that witches have because they're so primitive. They're like getting back this bit of magic. It's pretty cool. She's hit. She's fine. Dragged up. Real cool. By the way, this is real cool. Great shot. Okay. And originally you said that she'd get some like weird... What is that creature? I don't know. I feel like... What is it? Like... Is it like a Kikimora or something? No. Maybe. Well, I just got it spot on, maybe. It is a Kikimora, huh? Maybe? Nah, not Kikimora, but very similar. Maybe, maybe. Assuming this is, and it's not like... Female house spirit? Okay, well that's a little bit different. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe, that's my guess. Without like going fully into it. So... I probably said it. So... When we're chatting in the thing, you originally took this as water. I feel like this is her drawing magic. I don't know, like, possibly through water, actually. So she's getting water, but it's like drawing magic through it all. That's why it also doesn't look like just normal water. So I think she's drawing it. Because I think this is just like dripping water potentially there, and then she's like drawing it again. Like... Which gives her the ability to do this spell. We'll see. Electricity, what the fuck? There is no electricity spell, or at least not blue. There's technically Eärden, if you get the Eärden second upgrade, which spawns a thing, but then that's not technically book accurate anyway though, and then it like shoots electricity. Okay, there. You little gripper. So this is new, so I'm intrigued. I would assume this. Now technically there are some spells that witches have access to. There is Heliotrope, which looks like this. Heliotrope. And so Heliotrope is effectively think Quen, but only for spells. So technically Quen doesn't actually work for spells, but Heliotrope does work. So it's like, I believe, Heliotrope. Yeah. Yeah, works as a buffer against physical attacks. Am I contrary to Quen, which is active? Oh, never mind. Maybe I'm impacts contrary. It's active until broken. The spell Heliotrope is only active for a moment. Oh, never mind. Guess that's wrong. Either way, pretty interesting though. There is one other one. Witcher, and the only reason I know about this other one, I think there may be another one in general, but there's another one that I actually learned from the Hussite series, because the guy, Renovan, casts a spell in the the Hussite series, and I was searching up about it online because I'm like, oh, this is really cool. It effectively allows you to like listen better, and then I searched it up, and in the fandom it was mentioned. Heliotrope Yeah, not included. I don't know where it's mentioned, but what are these? These are like Griffin. Fanon. Oh, is it Som? I think this is it. Maybe? No, Som is the sleeping spell. Yeah. Som is a sleeping spell. I can't remember where he used that. But he uses that a couple times in the book. Witcher sign here. Theater. I just want to know what it is. I can't remember. Maybe I can't be asked. Oh, here we go. These are a lot. Hold on. These are a lot. Luxie, Queen, Som, which is that one? Some synergies. Oh, these are cool. No. Oh, really? That's good. Oh, yes, Solir, I think it is. No? No, that temporary mutes? What? Yeah, this one. Superior. That's the one. Superior. Yes, it allows you to hear better, effectively. I saw this a couple times. Whoa, what is this School of the Bat? I don't know how legit those ones are. Anyway, I just remember reading up about that from the books. So that is so irrelevant though. So we play now Ciri. When it comes out, I'm pretty hyped. I'm pretty hyped to see. I'm currently breaking down the trailer, which is pretty interesting. But yeah, this new electricity thing. I'm hyped to play Ciri, and some people are like, Ciri, no, we don't want that. Right. The books are pretty much based off of Ciri, almost. Right? Like, everything revolves around Ciri. Let's keep it real here. If you read all the books, you know that it all revolves around Ciri. You play the games, maybe, I don't know. I haven't played enough of the first and second. I don't think the first and second games are based around her. She doesn't appear in the first or second game, but the third game is pretty based around her. So, some people hate that. But yeah, it's okay to sometimes play Ciri, but I don't know. Honestly, Geralt back. I believe we will see him back. I mean, Geralt's not dead at this point. Ciri is still, like, she's aged, but she's not, like, she doesn't look crazy. It'll be, she's done Trellegrass. Like, Witchers last a very long time. Like, in The Witcher 3, I think Geralt was, like, 80-something. So, I'll assume that we'll see him. And there's definitely, like, let's keep it real. We'll cover it when we get to it. But at the end of this all, we hear Doug Cockle, and he says what he says. The fact that they're using Doug Cockle at least to say the end means that there's probably chances that we'll at least hear him and see him. But I do think that The Witcher 3 was a very good conclusion to Geralt's story and everything. And you could argue that even arguably The Witcher games shouldn't have been even about Geralt, considering Geralt, technically, spoiler, dies at the end of the Witcher books. So, you could argue that. So, I think it's good, and I think that it's a great progression that we're moving into. I think it'd still be interesting to cover the conjunction of the spheres, but that people thought the game was going to be about. But this is pretty cool. So, yeah, so this lightning spell, I've got no clue what that's going to be. Also, she's not saying anything. She's not saying, like, Gwen, lightningy or whatever. I don't know. Electrocuto. I don't know. So, it's like absolutely decimating this guy. Crazy. That's so good. Hey, and for those of you, you've played maybe the first Witcher game, or you've read the books, this is something that Geralt does against a, correct me if I'm wrong, Bruxa? No, not a Bruxa. Bruxas are a type of vampire, so that's not right. What is it? I can't remember, but it's somebody that was like cursed, and she turned into like something, and it's the one where he like hides inside of the like this like what's it called, like, you know, cemetery, what do you go when you're inside like the casket kind of thing. So, but he does that with a silver chain. I actually really like that short story actually. Silver chain lights it up. Really real cool. Burns it. Okay, yes, it burns it because the monster, because it's, you know, like lit up, but also silver does burn monsters anyway, so kind of interesting. Big. Alright, Alana, you haven't been here the whole time. Just a little extra juice. I love it. Alana, you haven't been here the whole time, so I'm gonna maybe, I want to hear, like, hype you up too much, but this is something that I haven't seen anybody else talk about, okay? So you know, mess around with a lot of these things. I've done Unreal stuff before. I would beg that this is actually a real-time render. This isn't, you know, it's pre-rendered, yes, but this is still real-time rendering in Unreal. This isn't like what you'd refer to as offline rendering, where you have like a render farm and you're getting a bunch of computers to render it. The things. I think this is real time. There's a couple of things that I've covered, you know, feel free to check back if you're like actually interested in it, but there's a couple of things that I've noted, like they're using a, like, there's something that I didn't show, I don't think, you, Amy, but we see a lot about some of these details here. Especially like one, haircuts. These are haircuts. This is not groom, this is haircuts, which is for performance. Why would you care about hair cards? Either Unreal Engine just doesn't support it, or alternatively, they're doing it because it runs real time.
The bringer of salvation.
I don't use Groom very often though, so I've never run into needing to try an Unreal. Another thing to note here is there's not displacement. This is normal map. From what I can see, this looks very normal mappy. A lot of these details, like this is normal map. This is not displacement. This is just a tiling texture with normal map. That's not displacement. Now, this may completely be going over your head, Alano. Yeah. TLDR, displacement, it makes mesh like wobbly, right? Extra detail. Normal map, it's just like shading, right? It's still flat, but it looks detail, right? As somebody who's done a bunch of this stuff, it makes no sense to use normal map for something cinematic. Like, yeah, you're gonna have normal map, okay, that makes sense, but you usually use those for like what you classify as like detail maps and stuff like that. For like extra little details like skin and stuff like that. But these sorts of things, this is like cloth would generally be stuff like, and these would definitely be displacements. I feel like this is running real time. So we could actually be getting, not this level, this is like, you know, unannounced 50 series cards, let's keep it real. So I feel like we might be getting something similar to this, at least on like high quality. I thought I'd just mention that. That's pretty cool. You see her sword, that's a cool touch, like it's immersive. Similar to the Witcher 3 and some of that. One side thing though that's kind of disappointing You don't really see her like bloody nose that much. Like it's not really visible there. And that'd be something cool to like keep. I understand why not. And here we get to a very Witcher moment. Dude, I've been talking about this for like over like an hour and a half now. This is kind of crazy. For a 6-minute video.
The chosen one. His tradition.
And she's dead. Or well, dying.
No, no, no.
Being killed. Once again, these are hair cards. I know it.
It's all we wanted. For her to go to the woods. To go to the gods.
Gods?
Who done do it? That's a great question. This is something that I'm still not 100% sure. I think it's this guy though. You could argue as the technical antagonist to this because he's like contrary. He's like, we got to keep this legit. You know what I mean?
There are
Do we see some like tier stuff though? But yeah, I don't know. These I think are not flip books. There's a lot of stuff like this that doesn't make sense as a flip book. All the weird grainy stuff.
there are no
Interesting.
gods here.
Flipbook, for anybody watching that doesn't know, flipbooking is effectively you just using a flat plane and putting an animated texture on it, such as fire and stuff like that. Albeit you can have like multiple, most games use flipbooking. Who's done it? Yeah.
There are only monsters.
Or any monsters. Which is, and I think maybe like the biggest surprise to me is they call it The Witcher 4. I did not see that coming. It makes sense. So it's a new trilogy, and if you name it The Witcher 4, it's got the weight of The Witcher and the trilogy behind it. But as a new trilogy, you name it The Witcher 4? I don't know. Interesting. But presumably they've stuck into it being, well, The Witcher. And then we're gonna get Doug Cockle. Oh, where's it gone? Oh, okay. Well, generally there's Doug Cockle there, so I mean that's amazing. So, but very, very interesting. I mean, something key to note is this is an offline renderer using for this. This is like normal. This is like real high quality. That's why this looks amazing. So what they got here is like they'll be using like Chrome and shit like that for here like that, and that's why this here looks crazy. Oh no, I love this trailer as well. So I'm not like covering this and anything like that, but I just want to note this, like detail wise, like let's keep it real, okay? No, I still love that trailer the most. Oh, but I don't know. I mean, maybe not on but let's keep it real, okay? There is more fidelity in this, which also leads me to believe that this is real time. Yeah, I mean, it's got some crazy lighting. Like, this is still great, but kind of interesting to know. So I'm not sure, but that's my take on it. I'm gonna do that. The color provide warmth to his neck. I mean, lighting does, right? Like having to do lighting, electricity, yada yada, creating heat makes sense. But yeah, I think so. I feel like so. It's pretty cool. Man, imagine that it was like a chilly day and you just got like nice like heating around there. You can get like that sort of stuff. We joke about it at work sometimes, but you can get like actual like heating in like a puffer jacket, like actual like heating system inside of it, and it will heat you up. Because we joke about like on cold days, we're like, dude, we should so invest in jackets that have like actual heating inside of it. That'd be amazing. Because when it's real cold, sometimes you just want a bit of heat up. Oh, you started a new character. Let's go. I'm gonna be getting into this. Oh, no way. Weekend stash tab sale. I'll be running a stash tab sale, which is really, really big. Discount, yeah, ends at December the 16th. See what's up in Helldivers. Yeah, you do that. So I'm gonna get myself during this the premium quad. I'm beginning the gem, which is the two main ones, and possibly a currency. No, I'm gonna be getting the currency, the premium quad, but maybe the gem. Yeah, we're gonna switch into Path of Exile. I appreciate everybody who popped in and we're watching for me covering the Witcher trailer. We're gonna be checking out some Path of Exile stuff now. Just purpose. I think I'm gonna quickly in the interim, I'm gonna do like a little interim here. I'm just gonna quickly refill my drink bottle before we get into everything. So I'll feel free to, like, you know, you need to go to the bathroom, something like that. Feel free to go. I'll be back. I'm gonna refill my drink bottle. That'll be maybe like 2.5, 3 minutes. Oh, you guys can listen to it. Cool. Soundtrack. Back. Let's get into this. But yeah, I am so excited for Valve to release The Witcher 4. My thoughts are 2026. I believe it will launch 2026. That makes sense to me. Let me move my webcam. I swear I moved it. Should be better. I'm a bit more centered now. think maybe our settings disappeared. Anyway. Yep, so I'm expecting 2026. Like, yeah, there's a lot that hints towards it going into being 2026. They say that their full production will only really last, realistically. Well, okay, so they say that they generally take about 5 to 6 years to create it from the first time that they consider we're gonna do this. Yeah? And I believe it's almost, as I think they announced this, let's just say I think the earliest that they could have considered this to be, we're going to work on this, the earliest that they could have considered that is 2020. I don't think they'll be like fully going into all this before that, because they'll be getting into Cyberpunk territory. And the latest that they could say that could be in consideration the latest let's see. Yeah. The latest that it could be, I think, is this. Is 2022. They released a teaser image in March 2022 announcing it. Which means it can't be later. Okay, and it can't be late. It can't be this, right? It has to be probably a year prior. Anyway. But it cannot be later than, you know, like, let's just say 6 years, following the schedule, to 2022 would be 2028. It cannot be 2028. But you're also not releasing a teaser trailer that's, you know, you've got the links. You cannot be like, we'll come up with this, right? And then you just randomly post a link switch or skull, right? Like, you cannot be doing this. Like, you're not going to do this if you are, like, they had to have, like, already been conceiving this, that they're going to be doing this, if they're going to be doing a completely new skill and stuff like that. That takes consideration, that takes thought, that takes all these sorts of things. So, it has to be probably at least a year prior to this, which means somewhere in between there and there. So let's just say we're going to say 2021 is when they've, like, fully thought we're going to do this. Because I think the earliest that they could do this is, like, well, no, because it was end of 2020 when Cyberpunk did this, so it has to be 2021, right? So, and going by their schedule, right, 2021, 6 years down the road, would be 2027, which ties in to, we're going to release something, we're going to make a lot of money, somewhere in between 2024, is it, to 2027? They announced that they're going to be making a lot of money in between, I think, 2025 to 2027. And they've hinted, effectively, like, long story short, next year there's going to be some big announcements, and there's going to be some things that are going to generate them a bit of money next year, they stated, I believe. And I don't think they're going to be releasing it next year, but I do think they'll probably release a pre-purchase for a 2026 release. I think that only makes sense. They say it's going to take them probably around 2 years. I mean, they've spent 3 years, I think, in pretty much 3 years in, like, what would have been about 3 years in like pre-development. So I think maybe 2 years. And in full development, and they've done, like, they've built up, I think they've done a couple what's it called, vertical slices, vertical slice being, oops, there's not the sound now though, no, There is. Okay. So I want to get a currency, I know. And a premium quad. Especially because the quad you can sell items to people there. So I'll go pick up these. 120 plus 60 is 180, which is most of my money. There's something different. Oh, these are the guild coins. So I'll go pick these up. Premium quad. That makes sense. What else is on sale? Hold on. Oh, it's just these. I'll go pick them up. And the gem apparently is pretty helpful, but I don't know whether I'll pick that up or not. It's good, but we'll see. For 30, it's not bad. But then it does make sense to get the currency because you just get so much. So ordering that's just going to be easy. So I'll pick these up. I'll think about the other one. Currency. You're going to stack a whole lot more as well. Some so cool stuff there. I want some pets though. These were on sale, which is kind of funny. Oh, it's got legs. Suspicious rock. I don't know if I want to be here. Where am I? Oh no, I'm here. Okay, I do want to be here. But I want to move back into here again. Because I've done all that. Do this and then I go to next part. Very snazzy. So I could possibly, I think with my current setup, I've gotten a bunch of upgrades. I think I could take on the boss now, where I currently am, but not okay, I got stuck on a boss last stream, to preface those of you guys who haven't seen. Anyway. Just because not enough like damage and stuff like that. Oh, decent damage, but homie's just crazy strong. Long story short, he like one-shots me and stuff like that. But I think if I... Yeah, I've lost a bit of armor as well, surprisingly. But I think if I get an improved life flask, that'll fix my issues, because my life flask is like level 16, or I'm level 28 now. I'm almost 30. I'm way behind. A good amount of life recovery though. My recovery. Maybe it could be better. There's something else I'm going to be getting soon that will improve that, but... I'm so surprised that they shared this though. Nice. Just keep clearing up this. Turn that up. Giant. So I think I want these giant life flasks. Yeah, I do. And even though this is common, and I do not want it this, no. If I add I need, the only thing that I want, and I just haven't been able to get it this far, I need, I'm not swapping until I get this, gains 0.15 charges per second. Until I get that, I'm not swapping. Because when you're versing a boss, and you use your flask more than like small handful of times, right? Like this, I can only use it 7 times. Whereas this, like, you know, I could use this only 7 times throughout the whole fight. That's it. So I need it to be better. I might need some more dexterity though, I was thinking soon. My strength and intelligence are pretty similar, but I'm hitting a point where I'm not able to get dex related things. Anyways. Oh, boss. Nice. And he sits still, which is really good. But never mind then, but he's slow still, so I can use some big attacks on him. So get some down. I still wish this did more damage, but oh well. Not bad. Still wish he dropped better though. Let me know what Helldive is like if that updates there though. I really like how you can like light up that gas cloud though, it's so cool. Checkpoint. Ancient seal. Not that I even need to do these ancient seals, but I'm just gonna clear this anyway, so. A bit of spark. What's this? I have not gotten one of these before. Improves the quality of a flask. Now I'm starting to get some new stuff, which is cool. But man, I'm so excited for The Witcher. Like, I just really like the story. I don't, like, at the end of the day, I know this is, like, kind of a shit take, but at the end of the day, like, even if the game's, like, meh, honestly, I just want more Witcher story. Like, I just like the story, stuff like that. Even, like, the games are amazing as well. But even just the stories, like, some of my favorite stories in games, so. I just want more. Keeping it real. I just heat up the Witcher stuff. Yeah, get this guy going. Nice. Engrave focus. Ah, it's just that. Nah, super hyped. No. No, indeed. Let me upgrade something. I got Unearth. Is there anything that I can upgrade? I don't think I got anything else in any of these other. I got a couple things. What's this?
Infernal Cry puts a debuff on enemies that makes them explode when they die. It also increases the damage of your next attack. The more enemies around you, the larger the boost. If you have endurance charges, Infernal Cry will consume them to boost additional attacks.
Let's go. I really want this.
Shockwave Totem repeatedly thumps the ground, dealing area damage. It causes an extra shockwave from any jagged ground it hits.
But my build just does not work at all for it. And I do not have the space either. Especially if I'm gonna go up. Cause dexterity. Crazy. Alright, I wanna get on Earth. But outside of Unearth, I don't know what I can spend it on, really. Oh yeah, there's this. No, I've already got that. I don't know, like, vulnerability sounds cool, I just don't have the spot for it. I mean, it's just got such shit DPS, 54. But it's not meant for DPS. This should be high, to be honest, it's so spammable. So I'm surprised not, and once you get it through the fire thing. So I do need to progress, actually. When I think about it. Here we go. Wow, that's massive. Oh, what? There we go. That does go straight into it, that's really cool. Yeah, it goes straight into it, that's really cool. So that's one thing that is really helpful too. Oh, awesome. Now it's gotta... see if I can put everything. That's a cool shard. And just start putting these in. Which makes it super easy to tell what's what, you know. I guess it's a rune. Weird. Isn't a normal thing. And neither is that. What else? Orb of Alchemy. That. I don't think there's anything else though. Runes I don't think count. So I'm missing. I'm missing some of these, one of these. Not sure what these are. No clue what that is. And all that. Oh, and these are these transmutation shards. Anything in here? Yeah. Otherwise, nah. Got no clue what to spend those on. So, oh well. Small scrap. Oh, there goes that etcher. Orb of Alchemy. Normal item to a rare item with 4 modifiers. That's so much better than transmutation with 1 modifier. But that must be rare because I only got 1. Exalted, which is good. Chaos Orb. And Regal. Regal's the big one. And Exalted. I think people like trade with Exalted Orbs. Anyway, so I'm gonna see. Please, fingers crossed. Oh, I don't think it's worth running.
Hello.
Man. I do not like that either. If it was like increased capacity, like amount that it can hear you, I would test it, but no, not like that. Unfortunately. I've been wanting one for so long. Yes, I'm at recovered, I'd take, but anything less. This isn't even good anyway. Good in this, but barely. Only because it's with that recovered. Oh well. Keep my background music going. Very nice. Another seal. A couple of gas cloud. Or not. Maybe just the one. Oh, there we go. Massive light up this killer thing because this guy's the actual, he spawns the minions. Ah, well, I cleared them anyway. So I just want to kill a couple like bosses and stuff here, so I'm just re-clearing it. I just clear these. Like it's not that I'm not under-leveled by that much. There's a boss here. Always bleeds. Explodes near by corpses. Okay, keep my distance there. Different. Just keep running this. I need to. There we go. Nothing helpful for me though, unfortunately. I get so many of those though. It's quite frustrating. Let me heal up. Wait, no way. He got brought back. I didn't think that was possible. I don't know if he drops more loot. I doubt it. Yeah, I don't think so. That'd be so broken. Does a lot of damage lighting up that gas cloud, luckily, so pretty good for clearing those normal mobs. Stopping them, running that, they just burn up. Very easy. Dot gone. Sounds annoying. Yeah, I'll land on my fire. See where that gets here. Just wipes the floor with those guys. Unless they get out of there or anything. They'd show. Yeah, it's heaps damage. Can build up the other one as well. No complaints from me. Even just in itself, I have that breaks armor, so they just increasingly take more damage. You just block off this area, and what are they gonna do, huh? Comical. See, people worry about all these nerfs and everything, bro. My build's just so... It's like a very good all-round, but it does like no damage already. So what are they gonna do? Buff me? I mean, okay, that's a bit of a like. It does like alright damage, but compared to like people just like one-shotting bosses, bro, bosses take me like 10 minutes. And if I get nerfed, then oh buddy, I don't even know. This does not feel very powerful to me. Good against these guys, though. Very, very good against, like, normal enemies. Let me spin up these guys. Like, the more enemies there are, the stronger I become, effectively. I get very powerful. Then I can start reviving a lot, and then healing a lot, and then... I mean, it gets good, but... Get this guy going. Try to heal up. These guys do deal a lot of damage. Yeah, and then I can start spawning a bunch of these. Yeah. Good castle. That's really big. Witcher 4 like this? Don't think so, buddy. This is a playing some Path of Exile, which is a ARPG. This isn't Witcher. This isn't Witcher. This is Path of Exile. Yeah, sorry. You missed it. I did the start of my stream. I was chatting about Witcher. I've switched on to Path of Exile now, but I was just covering the trailer. I spent about, I think, an hour and a half covering the trailer. Super hyped for it. Very much looking forward to it. But now, currently just grinding in Path of Exile, so... Yeah. But, super hyped. What are your thoughts on the Witcher trailer? Did you watch the Witcher trailer? What do you think? 2026, 100%. So, I also covered this a little bit earlier as well. Yeah, man, very cool. I think, alright, there's something, I talked about this a little bit earlier. The Witcher, yeah, same. I think, I haven't seen many people otherwise talk about this though. Just waiting for the game, yeah. So I thought I'll cover this, and this is what I spent probably at least an hour talking about earlier, because I think that's very interesting. A lot of what I watched in the trailer are like, what do you call it? A lot of what they added in the trailer are very much techniques that... So, okay, so I'm like a game developer as well. Indie though. And I've worked on like, not film stuff, but I've done like projects, you know, that use similar tools and stuff like that. And in techniques. And a lot of what they did, like, it's not... I'm gonna throw out a couple terms here that you may or may not know. They're using a lot of normal maps instead of not much displacement compared to what, you know, cinematics usually use. They were definitely using hair cards. They were not doing Groom, which is Groom's like very close to it's simulating hair strands, right? Whereas hair cards are just like a plane or a piece of paper effectively with hair added to it using alpha opacity, and you just do that effectively. Do a peep to cover the hair. That's what games do that. Pretty much every game I think does that. I don't know if any games use Groom, but yeah, every game uses haircuts. I don't know. So yeah. So my guess, and it says it's been rendered with an unnamed, and generally meaning singular, meaning they've rendered it with a single GPU. And I don't know, like I've made a couple games in Unreal. I don't know if Unreal supports multi-GPU, but it is unnamed GPU, meaning single GPU, but let's keep it real. Okay, 5090, let's keep it real. It's going to be, it's a 5090, which one I mentioned earlier pretty much confirms that they are working with NVIDIA again, because there's no way that they're working with NVIDIA but they're not working with NVIDIA. Like, how many games do you think just randomly are given a, you know, a pre-release, right? It's 59 is not released. So, and I don't think many studios are randomly just given it. So considering that they've worked with it in the past, I think it's going to be similar to Cyberpunk, where they're working pretty deep with NVIDIA, which is amazing. If you're running NVIDIA, you get a lot access to a lot of really cool features there. You know, even with the 30 series card like what you got, like, you still have, you know, crazy ray tracing if you're going to run it, but you still also have really good DLSS and whatnot support. I would assume they have to let it run on the 3060. The games that I play, I mean, I play a lot. I'm very much like a jack of all trades kind of guy. I play pretty much everything, mix of everything, but I don't go too hard into anything. But here's my Steam of, like, these are games that I like. I haven't finished all of these, but Echo Point Nova, finished that one, loved it. Very short game though. Kingdom Come Deliverance, on my first playthrough at the moment, 40 hours in, absolutely loving it. One of my favorite games out there. Can't wait for number 2 to come out. I've had this game for a good while. Haven't finished Red Dead Redemption. I'm such a slow gamer, dude. Alright, let's preface. 157 hours. I still haven't finished Witcher 3. When I classify finishing CDPR games, I finish like all quests available. Yeah, I played a couple. I got a couple. I haven't played every game that I own, but because I buy bundles and stuff like that, like Humble Bundle and whatnot, so I don't play everything that I get, but I got a lot. But yeah, Cyberpunk, I classify as I have finished. I've done every single quest in the game. That is accessible. Maybe there's quests, like, if I take a different approach, I've done it, but I've done every ending that I've had accessible. I wish. I don't got the money. I don't got a job at the moment. Like, I sort of have a job, but, like, recession at the moment, so there's just not really any work for me. Cyberpunk, Witcher, this isn't a game that's a blender. Path of Exile, which I'm currently playing through. Chrono Trigger, one of my favorite games. Vampire Survivors, love it. Squid People and Helldivers are really tanky. I do remember them being, I recall them supposedly being Beginner's Guide, Witcher 2. Also, these are just dev tools, but I love them. Red Dead, one of my favorite games. Really cool. I like it. Never finish it. I need to finish it at some point. I think I'm like 40 odd hours in. I'm still only like chapter 2 or 3. I think chapter 3 out of like 6 or something. So I'm nowhere near, dude, to finishing it. But it just takes me ages to beat these games, unfortunately. Final Fantasy 9 still coming through with my playthrough. Means you got a nice PC. I got a beefy PC. Not because of the amount of games that I have. Like I mentioned before, I make games, so generally that's like my reasoning for things. Like, I play a lot of games, and I got a pretty beefy PC because I want to make the best assets. I want to make the best things possible. And unfortunately, you know, there are limitations with lower PCs. So, yes, you know, there's no point buying a beefy PC and only just being able to run it on your PC, but at the same time, you want to be doing real-time simulations. Like I do, for example, you know, VFX, right? If you're doing VFX, you know, you're going to turn this into a flipbook, but running it naturally is not a great idea with Path of Exile in the background. So this will probably brick my PC. I don't know. I already got massive GPU usage, but this loads. If you're running these things, so yeah, I got a pretty beefy PC. But using tools like this is a popular tool that I wouldn't be surprised if CDPR does. It's my favorite game. At least for the next games. Either that or Houdini. They'll be using it. Houdini is more expensive though. Houdini is like thousands of dollars. Either CDPR. I'm a CDPR fan. I love all their games. Oh, there's a new update. Yeah, I mean, if I'm doing stuff like VFX, right? And you want to run this real time, you're gonna need beefy PCs. Like, if even a 3090 arguably is better than my card that I have. I don't have a 4090 either though. But yeah. But yeah, I would assume, to answer your point before, no, I don't play Dota, sorry. I have done a Dota project though. I don't know if this is gonna be of any interest to you. Once again, Unreal, I guess. This one we could either use Unreal or Unity, but this kind of... Yeah, no, I haven't used Dota. But this may be interesting as a Dota player. When it loads. Like, Path of Exile is kind of a beefy game, so running these things on the side isn't great. I don't know if there's a character you've seen the Dota games, like animated it. These are not the animations from the game. These are like I took it and then I animated them. So kind of interesting. Yeah, it was for an assessment at my college. We did animation assessment to animate a Dota character. So that's the character that I got. But no, I haven't played it. Thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, I haven't played Dota. I gotta be honest, those are like the games that I kinda don't play. I've played a bit of League, which is similar, but that was bad for me. That was bad. Okay, in fairness, I didn't play that much of League, but it was bad. Have fun, I'm gonna play Dota. That's all good. Hey, hope you enjoy Dota. Have a good one. And I hope you win your matches, eh? Best of luck with them. Waypoint. It's the offering thing. Have more fun than I did with Dota 2. Though, to be honest, Amy, Dota is very much a non-Amy game. Well, I haven't played Dota, but I've played a good bit of League, and I know League is definitely not a game for you. It's like the gameplay style. Really? Like the MOBA? Or just like the designs of the characters and whatnot? Ah, yeah. That's generally MOBA, but yeah. But if it's just the top down, it could be anything like StarCraft and shit. How many enemies? How's the... Do you think of the Spore Tribal stage? Ah, yeah. There hasn't actually been that many bosses. I feel like I've only versed one. No? No, two. There's usually like 3 or 4. So question, Amy. How do you think, like, because here's the thing, right? Terminids, Helldivers, those are fun to verse, generally. Until you start getting to, like, the higher levels, high difficulties, they just start getting very tanky and very aggressive. But, what do you think? Do you think these are, like, good to verse, or are they going to be like another... What's the... Automatrons? Where, like, Automatrons exist, most people, like... they're just a bit of a handful to deal with. Middle ground. Do they go invisible, or did they remove that? They can shoot. I've missed some enemies, but probably not important. Let's go to Titan Grotto. Easy to mount. Okay. That's cool. This will be a bit of a up in difficulty. I've done this like multiple times, but these enemies like dangerous. What is this? This is like German almost. They have more melee and less range. Yeah, okay. No, that's like a Dutch they're speaking. Are we in like New Zealand service? Supposing the sounds are pretty tanky. Oh, okay. That sounds about right. About what I'd expect. Oh, yeah. Kinda interesting. I should probably head back. Jesus, like, Tripod's easy to kill once the shield's down. Okay. I forgot that I got that. Yeah, we have to see if that becomes like, oh shit, like the next fun, or if it stays.
Stay in sight.
But no, I found very fun. Level 6. Yeah. I'm getting incredibly thirsty doing this thing. Show how it is in harder levels. Yeah. I don't know if I'm stuck on Barbala. Barbala was so hard. I got stuck on that shit. Run with Flame Wall. Believe me, Flame Wall was not that helpful against Barbala, unfortunately. Good stream it. Good do, yeah. Because I'm probably ending streams soon. If you'd be interested, yeah, I could hop into a call for a bit. We can stream it. That won't be on for too much later. I guess, yeah. It's getting pretty late, so I just end stream anyway. 2.5 hours anyway, pretty much. Well, there you guys are watching. Still haven't, dude, I've been grinding for like maybe 3 days now, and I still have not gotten, and this is including off stream, I still have not gotten a single like upgraded bloody life thing with the regen, which is, buddy, come on, please. It's all what I want, man. So, one of those things. Hopefully I get it. I mean, I'm sure I get something over the weekend, but I do need to, like, I think during the dap off, you know, get back into Kingdom Come a bit more, because I just want to finish that one before the end of the year, so I'm like, oh good. Then I can play a bit of this maybe on my Steam Deck if I can run it. I tried a bit, I can still like run it, but it's hit or miss. Depends on the internet while I'm over there. But yeah, I appreciate y'all watching. Hopefully that was interesting. Hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully, you know, maybe you're even more excited about The Witcher. Maybe, you know, it's kind of interesting. But yeah, I hopefully taught you guys something new. And yeah, we'll catch you guys next week. Catch y'alls. Have a good one. Not much longer of me streaming, really, before I head overseas. I think I got technically 2 weeks from today, maybe, so yeah, 2 weeks from today. Way to make me nervous. And I'm gonna be gone for about a month, so you guys won't see me for a good bit. Maybe I make a post. I probably just won't be on that much. I'll be all over the place. Whether, I don't know what my internet will be like, so we'll see. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Have a good one. Appreciate you all watching, and yeah, have a good one. Later.